You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Bill Belichick. Now, in case you guys did not know this, during the Chiefs and Patriots game, in the first half of the game, all the balls that were involved with kicking for both sides of the team were underinflated. Yeah, by about 2 to 2.5 PSI. Anybody remember DEFLATEGATE? Yeah. That whole scandal that went down, well, I made a video over on the big channel this morning about the fact that, well, we've talked a lot about the NFL being rigged, and it's very interesting that those balls now are all handled by the NFL. Now, I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but things have changed since the DEFLATEGATE guys and days, and the NFL handles all of it, all right? And I said, man, there were 2 field goals missed, and then I said, well, you know, if any NFL officials want to point shave, deflating footballs would sure be an interesting way of doing it, wouldn't it? And I talked about the fact, and we've talked about it on this channel, how many fans believe that something could be going on with the NFL either being rigged. Of course, the NFL's always looking for something involving officials and our officials being contacted. Dean Blandino admitted, yes, NFL officials have been contacted by people hoping that they would influence the outcome of games. Right? And then, of course, fans have called out refs for various calls in various games, more specifically and high profile, the Bengals-Chiefs game, not even a couple of years ago. Well, Bill Belichick, the head coach of the Patriots, wants to send a clear message to everybody that they have nothing to do with the footballs being underinflated, and that it is all back on the league's heads. Now, we know everything that went down, all the drama, all the press. I mean, people will still leave comments talking about Deflategate. Well, see, the teams don't have anything to do with it anymore. It's the officials. And because of that, Belichick is sending a clear message. This is PFT. They just put this up. Patriots head coach Bill Belichick confirmed at a Friday press conference that the Patriots became aware of the issues in the first quarter, while noting that neither team handles the kicking balls ahead of the game. Quote, well, the officials handle that, and they were underinflated by 2 to 2.5 pounds, Belichick said. I think you could see that by the kicks. Both kickers missed kicks. Chiefs kicker Harrison Buckner hadn't missed a kick all year. Kickoffs, we had 2 of them that almost went out of bounds. So they had 6 balls. It was both sets of balls. It was all 6 of them. So I don't know. You have to talk to the league about what happened on that, because we don't have anything to do with that part of it. They control all of it. They fixed them at halftime, but didn't do it before then, which is another question you would have to ask them. I love it. I love this, Belichick. Now, this is good Bill Belichick, but we don't have anything to do with it. We were aware of it, ? Definitely. But as I understand, they were all the same. Belichick said he doesn't know, quote, what the explanation is for what went wrong, since it was out of the team's control, but it seems will be a lot less time spent figuring out what happened than there was in 2015. Wow. So Belichick is making it very clear to everybody, neither the Chiefs nor the Patriots get those footballs, have access to those footballs, and want anything to do with those footballs. But then that raises the question, and I wonder if this story is not going to grab and gain some legs. Why were the balls so underinflated? What officials underinflated the ball or did not inflate the balls the way they were supposed to be? Why is that? Is anybody going to lose their jobs? Again, it's going to be interesting. Is the NFL willing to create a scandal around a specific team, but what about themselves? In a time where so many people are questioning the referees and how much everybody can trust all the calls and all the flags and all the penalties and all of the no calls that are being made on an NFL field. It's an interesting question, folks. I mean, if you know that's going to influence points on the board, which obviously field goals are, that'd be a real easy way to do it. De-inflate the balls. Now, it would seem like an easy way to get caught, but it would still, nonetheless, be an easy way to do it. So, enter in Mass Live and more specifically Ross Tucker. Now, Ross Tucker's got a really good podcast, Ross Tucker Football Podcast. He played a little bit for the Patriots, Eagles back in the day. I think he does Eagles preseason games, does some college football. And he does a lot, of course, as you can expect, call-in hits with different radio shows. And he's put it out there, some of the feedback that he has gotten from a couple of the fan bases of teams that you would expect might make a run, and one of the most heavily rumored, and I still think it's where he's going to end up going, is the Commanders, talking about Bill Belichick. But the Panthers and David Tepper has been rumored as well, and I think both of them would be considered as much business decisions as it would football decisions. Obviously, both franchises, you would think, might get a lot of positive buzz off that, except if you're watching what has recently happened in New England, you would probably get very concerned, particularly about the offensive side of the ball for your football team, because it's a disaster in New England right now. Quote, I go on different radio shows all over the country, including Charlotte, where the Carolina Panthers are, and D.C., where the Commanders are, said Tucker, who also serves as a game analyst for CBS Sports and Westwood One Radio. The thing I think is fascinating, and maybe it's a short attention span that people have these days, but a lot of people don't want him. I thought Belichick would be a great hire for the Carolina Panthers or the Commanders. Now, I will tell you this, generally speaking, Ross Tucker's a pretty positive kind of guy. I tend to be a little bit more critical than somebody like Ross, but I mean, hey, if he may legitimately just be a positive dude, I could have told you that some of the people in the fan bases wouldn't want any of the fan bases that are rumored. There's going to be a section of fans that are not going to want him if they're locked into what's going on in New England. Both of whom need credibility at this point, and for their new owners, because it's been bad, and yet that's not really what the fans appear to want, which is really interesting. It's possible Belichick wouldn't want them either and have to start over with two teams that aren't close to being contenders. But it's still odd that Belichick's star has fallen so far in the wake of the Patriots post-Tom Brady tumble. Quote, I'm assuming that they can talk themselves into it after it's made. It's kind of hard to argue with getting one of the best coaches of all time as your coach. But these last couple of years, and this year in particular, Belichick's reputation really has taken a beating. If you ask Commander fans or Panthers fans before the season, hey, you want Belichick? It would be, heck yeah, that would be amazing. But just because of how bad this year's been, there's not like a groundswell among fans that are itching to bring him in. And I can tell you right now that, for example, I listen to a lot of the Jones and Mago show out of New England on radio. And Mago is a Commanders fan. She doesn't want Belichick. I mean, she's pretty open about that. You know, while Tucker agreed it's not up to the fans, He still wasn't sure that David Tepper or Josh Harris would go out of their way for Belichick. Quote, when I was in D.C., they said it was about 10% of the fans that want Belichick there. That's tough. It's tough to trade for a guy or hire a guy that wouldn't be a popular move for fans. Now, again, maybe that's what they're saying now, and if they actually do it, you'll get the buy-in. But I do think it's an interesting point in this. I got to tell you, if 90% of your fan base is negative on the move, I don't know how you do it. I mean, it's going to be, you're going to take it's going to be a bloodbath in the local media and on radio. If you bring in a coach that you know your fan base is blatantly out on before you ever get him, even if it is Bill Belichick. Now, I said yesterday because there's starting to be a lot of Dallas Cowboys stuff swirl. And, the more I think about it, provided he doesn't have personnel control, Cowboys do kind of make some sense because there's so much in place and he's a great defensive coach. But if you got to come in and let him build it from the ground up and give him personnel control, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, you had a franchise quarterback and he's been destroyed. I mean, I've never seen an NFL franchise quarterback that had so much success in a rookie year literally fall off the planet. I mean, Mac Jones barely looks like a backup in the NFL now. And you can literally see, markers over the last 2 years of where things went wrong around that Patriots offense, whether it's personnel or coaching moves. They're easy to see. Combine that with a horrible drafting record over the last however many years on offense, a long time. Even long, while Tom Brady was still there. I don't know how you can give him the GM job. That's the thing. I don't know. I can't see many fan bases. Maybe the Chargers, because it's been a bunch of cheap coordinator types down there in L.A. / formerly San Diego. Maybe the Chargers, to me, feels like maybe the only fan base that would be really feel positive and good about Belichick. Every other fan base, I don't think it's going to be overwhelmingly accepted. I don't. There's going to be a lot of blowback, a lot of backlash. That's so funny, though, Bill, making it very clear. No, those footballs are on the league. No, please point all your questions to Roger Goodell, please. That's good, Bill. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.